Hi, in this week's video I'm going to show you the 6 things I wish I'd known before buying this, the NordicTrack S27i. I'll put this video into chapters so you can skip to the parts most relevant to you, and I'll also show you how to save hundreds on your annual iFit subscription. Let's get cracking. Number 1 is that you're going to have to build this bike yourself. It's packed more for transit than the end user. And unless you pay for NordicTrack's white glove service, which in the UK is £199, where they deliver the bike, unpack it for you, build the bike, and then take all the packaging away for you, then you're going to have to put this thing together. The advantage of building it yourself is that you know exactly how the bike is put together. I feel a lot more confident with this as a bike because I put it together, but if it's not your forte, you're perhaps going to have to factor in the cost of getting somebody else to build it for you. Next is the auto fan setting. So with NordicTrack bikes and the treadmills, they've got this auto fan setting. That means the harder the workout is, the harder it blows. And you've got manual settings here, 1, 2, and 3. And then when you want to switch to auto, you press it at full time and that goes to auto. Because I'm not pedaling the bike, it's switched to fan off. Let's start turning the pedal. So now I'm turning the pedals. This is a little bit difficult to do backwards. You can hear the fan kicking in. The auto setting is fantastic, but you need to press it 1, 2, 3, 4 times to switch it on, which is a bit of a nuisance. What I found out was when the fan's off, if you just press fan down instead, it goes straight to that auto setting. If you didn't know that already, you're very welcome. And if you haven't got one of these bikes already and you're thinking of buying one, I'll put a link in the description, which will take you to the best price on their website, and it also helps support the channel. So thanks very much. Next is just how cheap the iFit subscription can actually be. When you buy one of these bikes, you'll be given a month free subscription from iFit, and then you're asked to sign up for $29.99 a month in the UK or $39.99 a month in the US. And that's for the family membership with up to 5 users for the bike. My advice would be, don't do this. If you go straight to the iFit's website, you can buy an annual subscription, which is at least 20% cheaper. If you're just a sole user, so in my house, I use this bike the most, you can buy an annual single person subscription for less than half the price. Or if you want to pay that monthly, it's still a big saving on what they'll ask you to sign up for on the bike. You can also buy the subscriptions from Amazon's iFit store as well. So don't sign up for the subscription on the bike when you're prompted to. Look at other places where you can get the subscriptions a lot cheaper. I've got a whole video on this as well, and I'll link you to that video at the end of this video. This is a zombie ride, which is my favourite ride of all time. So you're riding along, and if you can hear that, if you didn't know, as the terrain changes, the angle of the bike changes, which is really clever, and so does the resistance. So if the rider here goes up a hill, if Ashley goes up a hill, then it gets a lot harder to pedal, and the bike leans back. With this ride though, the zombie ride is like really immersive. I really like it. The next thing you might not know is that the music on these workouts isn't actually linked to the class. So I came from a Peloton, and when you do a class-based workout on a Peloton, the music is an integral part of the whole experience. And quite often the rides are built around the music. So with iFit, you don't have that. With NordicTrack, you don't have that. You have stations instead, which I have mixed feelings about. When you're in your workout, you just touch the screen, and then you can go to audio and music settings. And then one thing I do like is you can adjust the volume of the music and the trainer. So you might want the trainer quite loud and the music quite quiet, or the other way around. You might want to switch the music all the way off and just have your own music, which I really like. But when you click on music, you've got a choice of station. Now, in the UK, where I am, we've only got a choice of 3 stations. I know you can see 4 there, but I'm not going to do a ride to down-tempo yoga. So you've got global hits, rock, and then dance EDM. Just having these 3 stations to choose from isn't a great selection really. And if you're in the US, you'll get 11 stations. So I don't think you'll have this problem. The 3 stations they do have where I am are good stations, but none of the music is kind of amazing. But the good news is, with these outdoor rides, the scenery and the the nature of the rides means I generally just turn the music quite low because you're listening to the instructor. The instructor talks about the areas that you're in. And unlike a class where the music is very much a part of the immersive nature of the class, when you're on these scenic fitness rides, you don't need it anywhere near as much. The next thing is screen size. So the number of the bike correlates to the size of the screen. So the S15i has a 15-inch screen, the 22i has a 22-inch screen, and the 27i has a 27-inch screen. The larger the screen, I would say, the more immersive the experience. So before I had this 27i, I had a 22i, and that had the same size screen as I've got on here, my tread, the 2450. And you can see that there's a difference in size. And because of how these workouts are, the larger the screen, I would say, the better the experience. So you're quite close to these screens anyway. So if you've got a 15i, it might feel like you're watching your TV, but not your main TV. When you're running on this, because you're close to it, it does feel more like quite a widescreen experience on the 22-inch screens. And if you want something that feels more a bit like an IMAX maybe, so that it's kind of taken up a lot of your field of vision, then the 27i is the way to go. Coming from a 22i to a 27i, I can honestly say, I've not ridden a 15i, I'd be very happy with either the 22 or the 27-inch screen. My preference, because coming from the Peloton, was that I wanted a bigger screen. So I really like this 27i. If I had a 22-inch screen, I really would not be unhappy with that either. The other thing that really impressed me, as well as the outdoor rides, is the outdoor strength classes and the yoga classes. Now, I would say that Peloton make the best in-class cycling and strength workouts. I love a Peloton strength workout, but I don't always want to train in the same studio, because all the instructors has is music and them and some dumbbells, and it can get a little bit monotonous after a while. So with iFit, well, this one's next to a waterfall. I was doing some yoga the other day in, I can't remember where we were, and a zebra walked past. And if you're thinking, does Steve mean zebra? No, I mean zebra, just ask JZ. And these iFit outdoor scenic workouts are where NordicTrack and iFit really shine. I don't know of any other workouts of this quality in these environments. This is very much their USP, and they are very, very good at it. Next thing, and this is something that I don't understand and I find slightly annoying, is that the screen just never goes off. So when you're not using your bike, every other piece of fitness equipment I have, the screen just goes black after a while. You might get a screensaver, then it goes black, but it just goes black, and then you reactivate the screen by tapping on the screen. With these bikes, you just get this. It will filter through a series of screensavers, and as you can see, this one's actually quite bright, and it just doesn't go off. So it's fine in here, because this is my home gym where I work out. But if this is in your bedroom or your living room or any other place in your house, a room where you don't want a screen on all the time, the only other option is to actually switch it off at the plug or switch it off on the switch. The switch on these bikes is right down here, so you've got to reach right down there to turn it off. If you want to see my full review of this bike, then just click here. And if you'd like to know how to save hundreds, and it really does save a lot of money on your iFit subscription, then just click here. See you next time.